like you to introduce yourself to all my people, Pastor Shahzad, and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Hello, beautiful people. God bless you. And I'm so glad to be with you. And I'm thankful to Pastor Dr. Alice Bennett for inviting me. I'm Pastor Shahzad. I'm in Philadelphia right now, basically from Pakistan. I have a beautiful wife, Noreen, and 3 sons, 1 daughter. And I'm serving our Father here in Philadelphia in South Asian community.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about what brought you to the U.S.?
As I'm from Pakistan and there are 3% Christians, cannot say a lot, but somehow persecution, you can say, brought me here to save myself and my family. And it was God's plan to bring me here to serve the community.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about where in Pakistan is you came from, or your people are located? Do you want to share about?
If you see the Arabian Sea, it's on the coast, and on west side we have everybody have almost heard about Afghanistan because of the war we were involved as American. So in west we have Afghanistan. On northeast side it's China border, and then India is on east side, and Iran is also on west side, southwest. If you have tasted the pink salt, maybe Himalayan pink salt, everybody used it. It comes from Pakistan. So,
the pink salt. One of the beautiful things you gave us.
Yeah, it is from Pakistan, and the highest peak, K2, is in Pakistan. So basically, you can say that we are on Arabian Sea. 1 foot is here, and the upside we are on north side on the Himalayan range. The second big glacier is there. So in South Asia, there's one small country named Pakistan.
I've always wanted to go to Pakistan since I was a young girl. It was a desire of my heart. So maybe someday I'll get to go.
Yes.
Anyway, so tell us a little bit about, now you've lived in the U.S. and you have a church in the U.S. and you've lived in Pakistan and you have a church group there and many of your family members involved in the church. Mm-hmm. Tell me what's a little bit about the differences of church culture between each.
One thing that the Christianity, let me say that we take it very for granted, I'll say. And we are more, in Pakistan, people are more sensitive to it. They are more into society. Everyone want to go to the church. Mm-hmm. And I'm not only pasting the good things, but just the general culture. For example, my father is a pastor, my 2 uncles are pastor, and brother is a pastor. And I visited last year. Early morning, 6 o'clock, they said, we have a church service. I go, really, Father, 6 o'clock, I have to get up. Yeah. And then I was there, the church was full. And oh my God, at 6 o'clock, everybody can come. But 9 o'clock, there was another service. Then 11 o'clock there is another service on the Sunday. The same people are coming 3-4 times. Almost every church in a week, maybe they go to the church 7-8 times and they want to come as a society. Here we'll go just once, and it's really, I want to go to the church on Sunday. It's a big thing, and maybe just one Wednesday or any other Bible study day. Now, the second thing I feel that people over there, they were sensitive to a few things. For example, a friend came there and he put the Bible on the ground. And over there, people will say, oh my God, it's the word of God and you don't care. No woman can ever come to the stage without, putting some scarf, or we say it, the patas, the veil, something on not the veil, but the scarf on the head. You have to cover your head. So smaller thing, they are oversensitive. I will not say sensitive, they're oversensitive. But one thing, they are very strong in faith and hope. Here I'm lacking in our churches, in our people. They don't have much hope. They see differently. Over there, for example, in every month, at least average, in Pakistan, 1 church is bombed. Either somebody come to the church and, suicidal attacks and killed and raped. And from the state, it's a rule, it's a law that you have to have armed gunmen in front of the door from police, like from the state, and your own also. Still, the churches are full. If you have any crusade there, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 people will come inside, indoor, not the open door now we are not having. But so people are so much strong in faith that they will show up. Everyone is showing up. Here we are taking for granted. We are not giving the respect, the due respect, I'll say, to our culture. I'm saying about the Christian culture, our values, and we say, you know what, it's okay. We are very lenient in this perspective, I will say, and somehow I preach that no, you are taking your hope and faith for granted, and we start looking here all about logic. Everything is that we say, what is the logic behind it? Why we should do that? We should love more and we should respect everybody, the opinion and everything. But over there, they are very sensitive about that. For example, here we are facing that, okay, that's okay that if the 10 commandments are not in the schools and, things like that, or LGBT rights or other things. I'm not opposing and I don't have any word to say. But if you say this thing in their cultures, they will say, no, if it is written in the Bible, it's in the Bible. We have to only follow the Bible, what's written there. So they are more sensitive, I'll say, and the hope is there. Or here, I think we are going backward. For example, in Greek time when Jesus was here, and right after that in early churches, the Greek has a bigger question. They started with the logy, that everything's a theology and physiology and psychology and everything. And what is the logic behind that? We are thinking everything about the logic. What is the logic behind the miracles? What is the logic behind the tongues? What is the logic behind going to the church? God is everywhere. Why cannot we sit in the house and feel the presence of God? So everyone is talking about the logic, and that's why John, when he was addressing to that church, and he need to address our church now, he said, "In the beginning was the Word," and when he used the word "word," it is logos. And what is that logos? The reason behind the reason, the logic behind the logic. So he said, you want to talk about the logic? So in the beginning, the logic was there, like the reason of the logic was there. And the word, like the logic, was the God. This logos was the God. And that logos was God. And everything was created because of that logic. We are talking about Jesus. So,
amen.
Yeah. So this logic and logos, and we don't think that we have to take him as the whole, as a logos, as a God. Not we are trying to take refuge in the logics, but he is beyond the logic. And I think over there, people at least are more into faith, more looking. They have hope. They are looking for hope because they are struggling, poor, and the third word, but still I can see more hope and faith in their lives. I don't know if I was long, but I was
no,
I guess.
I totally agree with you, Pastor. I see that we've gotten away from the logic of God's word, which is the ultimate logic, and bent it to a self-serving logic in America.
Yes.
And it's very me because I come out of a time when there was prayer in the school every day, and we were patriotic and we were trained to say the Pledge of Allegiance and say a prayer every day to start school.
Yes.
I'm from the South, and we were very Texas. We were very oriented and respectful of the Bible and the Bible Belt where I came out of. So it's sad for me to be getting away from those things. Anyway, I want to ask you, you told me when we were chatting about this fantastic miracle you had with your son. And recently I met one of your sons, but I don't think that was the son. But let's talk about that miracle because my people would love to hear about this fantastic miracle that happened with your boy when he was very little.
Sure, Pastor. I live among the miracles, actually. I cannot deny his favors and his grace on us. My elder son, he's turning 27 this August, 14th of August. And he was just 3 or 4 years old, and we were riding to the school. One of my friend was driving, and I was sitting behind. The kids were, two kids were in between. So somehow his one feet, it came in the wheel and badly crushed, and his heel was totally crushed. And I rushed him to the hospital, and it was brutal. And the doctor said, we have to cut the leg just from the ankle, because it's they cannot mend it. They can do nothing. And still I cannot talk about that. So forgive me about that. So
Well, it's
it was very that
very,
was very critical
very
moments. And
stressful.
yeah, I most of the time I it's challenging for me even to talk, that just to be in that state. I was holding the leg like that, and the blood was coming, and the child was crying and asking me, Father, will I be able to walk again? And listening that, I was crying and praying. I don't know what I was saying, but I said, but one thing I was saying, no, you will walk again. You will walk again in Jesus' name. You will walk again. And when the doctor said, no, we have to cut the leg, this whole feet, because it's badly crushed, it was heartbreaking. And we requested, I don't know what I said, but somehow he went inside. Thanks to him, he took, like, I don't know how much time, maybe 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. Uh, I was unable to track the time. Everybody was there. I think maybe over 50 people were there in the hospital, sitting outside and praying, and everybody was crying. When he came out, he said, you know what, I tried my best, but I have to somehow, trim or something, cut the veins, the bigger veins. I have joined them, but the leg is now 2 to 3 inches short. And maybe he will be able to walk, but you need a special shoes. You have to order it, and this is how we have to do it now. So, okay. And that was the time we started fasting and praying. So, Father, we have witnessed thousands and thousands miracles in our family, and we are praying since my childhood, my father, my mother, and through us there are thousand people that they got their healing. And now it's our turn. Why not us? Why cannot you be gracious to us? So we were praying. I don't know how much time it took, maybe 3 months. And when they opened the plaster, they cut it. And the whole leg was that even, just even like that. And doctor said, wow, how it happened? I know who is the logic. And we were shouting, we were really like jumping, and we said, hey, God. And now this son is 27 years old. He can run, boat, everything that a healthy person can do, he can do. He sings, and he helps me with the ministry. And this is the biggest miracle in my life. In front of my eyes, every day I witness at my home. Even the medical science cannot deny it, because they were saying, no, it's impossible. And he did it.
Tell us a few more exciting miracles that you've seen in the ministry.
There's a lot, actually. If I talk about the other people that, not from my family, that will be a long list. But why don't I just take into my family, and you will say, oh, wow, my God. My second son, he was also very small, very young, maybe 5, 6 years old. We came to know that he has a hole in his heart. They said it will take over a year, need proper medication, and he was very weak at that time. Don't know what happened. All the reports were there. They showed us the x-rays, the ECGs, and everything was there. My one brother, one sister, they're in medical field, so they were RN, and it was a heavy time for us. We have to move to another city where my wife belongs. It's in the southern side. We moved there. But it took 1 month. We were praying. It was the third visit, I guess. And when they went there, the doctor saw the reports, and we were praying. And he apologized us. He said, you know what? maybe we took it wrong, maybe it was a mistake, because I don't see any hole in the heart. And I apologize. I wish we were in America so I could sue them, those doctors, but we were not. There's no way we can do that. Yeah. So, but we know who did it. We know the miracle where it come from. We know exactly that it was His hand on us, His grace on us.
How do miracles function for the ladies and gentlemen and pastors that are over in Pakistan? How do they lay hands? How do they see miracles? How do they keep out of trouble and persecution?
Yes, Pastor. So in Pakistan, how we are doing, I think we believe on the miracles. If you go to any service, they will be asking for the prayers, and there are thousands and thousands. I can talk for days how many miracles are there. Recently, even sitting from here, there's a lady who got breast cancer, third grade. What you say, third stage? Yeah, and we were praying from here, and very soon we got a report from her that it's melting away, it's going. And then it was diagnosed that it's second and then first, and she was totally released. So either they're sitting there, they believe the power of the miracle and power of the prayer. And over there, as you said, yes, they do. They pray. Sometimes they lay hands. Sometimes they're just praying from at a distance even. Everybody believed the power of prayer and miracles. I remember a boy was born without any holes. He cannot pass the urination or something. There were no holes. They sent it to the hospital because it was very unusual. Me, my father, the whole church was praying. As they reached there, we saw there are no holes, like mother and all the family members. But we were praying. And as they went there, they said, why you brought the kid here? He's normal. Everything is there. Go back. So it's very usual there. People believe. So one group was heading towards the hospital, and one group was sitting in the prayer. So God is doing miracles over there, miracles and miracles. I can talk about that even. I wish I have some videos that I can show you. Those were some good times. Even other religions were coming to the meetings. We were having open air crusade. A man, third day, it was a 3-day crusade. Third day, he came with his mother on a cart, and she had never walked since last 15 years, maybe, or 20 years. She was on the cart. And after the healing prayer, that lady walked from the end of the meeting to she came to the stage, and she said that Jesus has healed me, and it's after 20 years that I'm walking today. So, and we didn't lay hand. That's I'm coming to your question. They were far, and just they hear the word of the God, they hear the prayer, and they got healed. Let me share my thought that why we need it. Actually, we are made on the face of the God, and all the attributes that God has. One biggest is that he performs miracles throughout the history. We can say that. And then Jesus was here and he performed the miracles, and he sent in, it like Matthew 10 and Luke 10, all the disciples, and he said, go and perform that. And if we don't do that, I will say contributing, or we are not coming fully in the face of God, like all the attributes that God keeps. So we have to meet that criteria. If we want to be one with God, all and everything that God is doing on our level as human being, we have to perform that also. If he creates, we have to create. If he perform the miracles, we have to perform the miracles. Yes, not as bigger God like he, but on our level. But he want to use us. He want to channelize his grace and this miraculous power through us. If we don't allow us to perform the miracle, because we can as a human being, no, we cannot. No. But he wants to use us as a vessel, as a channel, as a tool to perform and show his mercy and grace and all the attributes he keeps through us. So we need to understand that it's his plan. And if we don't want to be one with his plan. This is not, you cannot understand, actually fully understand the grace of God.
Amen, Pastor. So tell us a couple things. First of all, tell us a little bit about your church in Philadelphia.
Hey, I'm so sorry. The recording paused and I'm here again. So you were asking me about a little bit about my pastoral work in Philadelphia, in US and in Pakistan. I have planted a church in Philadelphia, and we started a weekly Bible study. People are showing up at my home. Right now, my wife and all the kids, they are so supportive. They're supporting me. People come here, my wife cooks. She's a good cook. You are welcome, actually. You can join me. And you will love the Indian and Pakistani food here. Yes, generally it's for everybody, but especially the South Asian countries, communities. We are focusing on that, immigrant families, and we are inviting them. I also intend to plan more house churches and churches. I have started already another church in Philadelphia. I'm planning and I'm praying for that. I'm visiting the families in one another in New York. And definitely I'm looking for the support and prayer partners and, all the like-minded people, those who are interested to extend his kingdom. Back in Pakistan, we started church in 1996. We started the ministry. Actually, when I was born, my parents were in seminary. So they are still serving, and I'm blessed. Since then, I'm serving beside my parents. But now, as I'm here over a decade now, I'm trying to help the church back, but also have started some new ventures. Recently, we had a very heartbreaking incident that one family converted to Islam. It was not because of any threat or something, but he couldn't face the hard questions about the Bible and the faith. So somehow he was trapped and he converted to Islam. We started 3 Bible schools right now. It's a Bible class. It's not really the Bible colleges or schools, but weekly Bible studies. But it's intensive. It's on Bible-based truths. My younger brother, who is also a pastor, and he's running these schools beside his wife, who is also into the Bible school going and about to finish his Bachelor of Theology. So I'm supporting them with curriculum and a little bit financial support. We are looking a lot of resources right now, teachings and even books and stationery and so much. Then there's a big issue about the women in Pakistan, and Pastor Bennett, I'm so grateful, so thankful for your help. Actually, people love you. They want to see you in person now. They love your teaching and all the miracles and the healing experience. They want to hear from you now. Women are really struggling in Pakistan. Most of the women don't work. They have to stay at home. Though things are changing now, the younger generation, they are going to the schools and getting the skills and out in the field helping families. But majority of the women still are not able to go out if they get educated. It's a long story, but in a nutshell, men have to work. And in that way, there are many who can get even education, the proper skills. So they are lacking sometime in education and proper skills because they have to earn. By the way, the wages is less than $1 per day, and a good pay. Somebody saying, "Hey, at least I'm good." So they are only earning $100 per week to support 6 or 7 in the family. So it's really hard. It's really hard. And beside that, women, they cannot help them financially. So they are just, staying at home, taking care of the kids or the family as sisters and mothers and wives. And I am helping them to, grow in faith. But beside that, how they can be more supportive to the family and pushing them to get the education, pushing them to get the more skills, and upgrading themselves spiritually, and also in all area of their lives. And also they have lost the sense of enjoyment, what is life. So it's something very long story that I want to share, but yeah, we can talk later about that, and I can tell you like really in details. Then I'm focusing on youth. And by the way, this all story that I'm telling you is not the regular church that we are having. This is what I am now helping and planning with my own team. So, and then the Sunday school ministry, definitely. So there's a lot. And then in another video, I'm going to tell you about the music projects and the worship ministry. I'd like to say thanks, and I want to bless you with peace and prosperity and joy and abundance and His own presence in your lives. Thank you very much, Dr. Bennett, and all the church committee for giving me this opportunity to talk to you. And I'm honored to be with you. God bless you.